This is the Capital Region Connection Plus edition. Welcome to our digital sign here as we recap our piece we just had on CBS 6. Dan Van Alst joins us. Belts by Dan, you know him by a bunch of different names. Let's start at the beginning, though. How did you even get in touch with the New York Yankees to be a part of this belt?
Well, I've been making belts for about, I'd say, close to 15 years now, and I never thought the Yankees were a possibility. So randomly out of the blue, I get an email from the Rail Riders, which is the Yankees minor league team. And the Rail Riders were looking for a belt for their team to use as an award after the game. And I was speaking to them for about a few weeks, and we were getting designs all set. And then my contact at the Rail Riders sent me an email and said, "Hey, main team just contacted me. They're also looking for a belt. Here's the information. Here's the contact. Maybe we can do like some kind of deal, package deal. You do belts for both." Sure thing. So I get the contact information, really nervous, contact them, and it just took off from there. So it was one of the equipment managers within the Yankees, and they had a basic idea of what they wanted, because at that time they already had a belt that they were using. A fan from Niskayuna actually gifted them a Yankees themed WWE belt, and they were using that for a year, but they needed something that was going to hold up a little bit better, a little bit more professional, and that's how they contacted me. So it began with ideas of like, well, what do you want it to look like? And they really didn't have any ideas. It was just, we want a belt to award to the guys after each game. It's going to be a player of the game belt. We want certain logos on it, and we're going to give you creative freedom from there. So I had a few different mock-ups set. I sent it to them, and the team hated them. So the original mock-ups tried to incorporate, I think, a little bit of too much Yankee lore into it. There was one that focused on like the core four. There was ones that focused on like making Monument Park in the background with all the retired numbers. And then finally, the first player who gave really detailed input about what direction to take the belt was Tommy Canely, another local connection here. And Tommy said, "Can you model it similar to the WWF Winged Eagle belt, which was really popular in the 90s and the late 80s? And unfortunately, due to copyright and trademark and all of that type of legal stuff, I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want the team getting in trouble. I said, well, I can't do that exact design, but I have something that might be a little bit similar. So then we started going down that route. And then it turned into the equipment manager just walking around the locker room with his phone, showing the players the mock-ups, and every player started giving input into it. And eventually the Winged Eagle design went out the window. They looked at the website, they saw one of my designs, and we just started modifying it from there.
Now, it's been a few years since the original belt has hit the locker room, but you've done such a great job. They've kept the belt. It's stayed year after year.
Right. It's the same belt. It's a single belt that has been in use since 2018, and it has endured road trips. It has endured Yankee Stadium and a few different celebrations involving champagne. So the belt has held up tremendously over the years. I send them emails beginning of the season asking, do you need anything done to the belt? Because usually a belt that's that old, going on 4 years, you might start seeing some signs of issues such as the jewels maybe popping out, or the backing needs to be re-glued, or snaps breaking. They said everything was fine. They don't want to do anything to it. Keep it exactly as it is. I do have a friend within the organization who also works in there, and he sends me updates on the belt, like before and after the game, about whose locker it's sitting in today and what condition of the belt is. I'm like, dude, is it really in that good condition? And he'll take pictures of it and show me. He's like, no, man, it's holding up great. The only big thing with it is the original strap was a navy blue color. And with all the champagne celebrations, the champagne soaks into the leather, and the dye has darkened to the point where the strap almost looks black now. But other than that, everything has held up great. There's no jewels missing. The plating is good. And I gave the clubhouse attendants a full instruction guide on how to properly clean it and take care of it. And they've really done a great job with it.
You're a Yankee fan. Take us to the moment for that first occasion where you actually see a New York Yankee player with the belt around his shoulder, around his waist. What type of emotions you must have had seeing, hey, my guys like what I did.
Right. Like I didn't really expect much of it at first because everything was going so fast. What originally the plan was, the belt was only supposed to stay for home games at Yankee Stadium. So when I delivered the belt to them, this was during a long road trip, so I didn't expect to see it for a while. And my contact said, "We're going to use the belt. Didi Gregorius is going to keep you updated on it." Okay. So I wake up the next morning and I think it's a picture. I think it might be Neil Walker, might have been the first one that was posted. I have the picture somewhere, but and then it got it got tweeted by Didi, and then it got picked up by all these news outlets, and I think I saw it on like uh, CNBC or a couple of these other television news programs where they showed screen caps of it, and I was like, wow. And then people who know me and know wrestling, there's people who can spot my work a mile away. So my phone just started blowing up, and we just took it from there.
Have you thought about for how good this Yankee team is playing so far in 2022 of if it's the American League Championship Series, hell, if it's the World Series, that they may take a shot back to that locker room and the belt could be there again?
I hope so. I think this team is reminding me of those classic Yankees teams from like the glory days. Like there's something special about this team. It's that never die attitude that you can watch the game and bottom of the ninth, they're still not out of it, no matter how many runs they're behind. Like they've recaptured that Yankee magic that I think a lot of people have been missing almost since the new stadium went up. Like there's some fans who are like, oh, the magic hasn't carried over yet. I think this year it really is carried over. And a few years ago, Aaron Judge gave a really great speech in front of all the media with the champagne celebration, and he awarded the belt to Gleyber Torres, and that was amazing. Just like seeing all the guys so happy for each other, and the champagne celebrations, and the guys love it. They love the belt. Like it doesn't matter if it's what the actual belt is. The meaning behind it and what it represents means more than what the belt actually consists of. So this year, I think it's World Series or nothing. They got to go. This is a year that they're going to get their revenge on the Astros in the playoffs, and then they're not going to take their foot off the pedal. It's all the way.
There's a chance, by the way, in this year's World Series that could match up against the New York Mets. And Mets fans are probably listening to this thinking, whoa, whoa, can't we get a belt? I know he's a Latham guy. I know he's a New York guy. What about the Mets?
I'm originally from Queens, so I do have a soft spot in my heart for the Mets. And it's actually funny because the Mets also have a player of the game belt that they had it before the Yankees. And doing some research, I think Neil Walker might have been the only person to win both the Mets and the Yankees player of the game belt. So that's like a cool piece of trivia. But yeah, if the Mets or the Rangers or the Knicks or any of the other New York teams, if they're in the market for a belt, I can set some time aside for them.
There you go. Belts by Dan. That's the guy to talk. Dan, I appreciate you doing this, man. Thank you so much for offering some insight, especially on that side. You can see all the great work he does. Looking forward to following your work as always. Who knows? Maybe the World Series will get more shout outs for your work as well. Thanks again, man. Looking forward to catch up again soon.
Thanks, Tom. Anytime, man.